Irungu Kang'Ata, one of the best performing governor in Kenya and in Mount Kenya, has come out openly to say that he's not going to retain his seat come 2027 on UDA. He has decided that he's not going to retain his seat on UDA. And you know, Irungu Kang'Ata, who is the governor of Murang'a County, he's one of the best governors. He's one of the best performing governors. And ever since he was elected, he has really tried to stay away from politics. He has not been so active in terms of politics and all this. He has just been working for the people of Murang'a County. And people have been so much impressed with the kind of work that he has been doing in Murang'a. But there was a time he was being put under pressure by Gachagua to make his decisions very fast, whether he's going to be on UDA, or he's going to stick to he's going to move to DCP. And it has taken him a while before he made that decision. And finally, he has come out to make that decision. Though he has not come out clearly to say that he's going to run on DCP, but he has said that he's not going to contest the 2020. He's not going to retain his governor seat in 2027 and on UDA. But before I go into the details, I know there are some of you who are watching me for the first time. Kindly take a second to subscribe and to hit the notification bell so that anytime I post a video, you will always be the first to watch. So kindly do so. Na kama kawaida, I will be back. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed, and for the 10 subscribers, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Now, back to my video. So, Irungu Kang'Ata is one of the best performing members of governors. Even when he was a member of parliament, he was someone who was good. Very good in terms of his performing and everything. And he's somebody that you really want to be like Akwe on your side in terms of support and everything. And it's baffling because he's making this decision just a day or two when William Ruto was in Murang'a County for an investment conference where they met and William Ruto launched a couple of projects. So if William Ruto is really performing in Mount Kenya, Ama is really doing a lot in Mount Kenya, why is people like Irungu Kang'Ata abandoning him and all this? These are the things that we want to look at. We want to look at deeply what made him make that decision. Those are the things we want to look at. But before I go into the details, I just want you to watch Gachagua giving him a warning, because all this started when Gachagua made him told him to make a choice very fast, or he's going to pick another person. And then Irungu Kang'Ata, you'll hear him now saying officially his decision. So have a listen in.
Kwa hivyo hapa Murang'a, mtu yangu kabisa ya kunisaidia mbele kwa serikali ambayo tunauda ni huyu PS Wairago wa maji. Nilimwambia kwanza asipiganie kiti ya governor, akuje tufanye kazi na yeye, si ndio? Lakini mimi napima tu. Huyu Kang'Ata akihepa nione akuji DCP, nafukuza yeye na leta Irongo, alafu tunaendelea.
His Excellency the President has always told us that the people are supreme, and thank you for that statement. And therefore, my responsibility is to adhere to what people have told me. And in light of that, and because I've tried my best to have these issues resolved internally, I have had a candid discussion with His Excellency the President, one-on-one, where we shared these ideas, but we did not reach what we call full convergence. I have no doubt to say that after careful reflection, I wish to state that come 2027, I will not defend my seat on the current party ticket. I will later, at a certain stage, communicate the platform which I will present myself to the electorate. However, until then, I will remain a disciplined and committed member of UDA party. I'll continue to serve diligently in my capacity and to cooperate with the national government in delivering development to our people. I will remain loyal to the President and also to the party through the remainder of this term. I do not intend to become the President of Kenya, neither do I want to become the Deputy President of this country. Therefore, my interest and his interest, they do not conflict, strictly speaking. Mine is only to defend my Murang'a seat. But I felt this is important for me to say because I have seen for the last few days the President has been in Murang'a. And every time when I go there, I'm being pressured to endorse programs, to endorse him. Even the pressure has come publicly, including my friend Kimani Ichung'wah. They have even suggested that I'm not sick, which I felt is not fair, because truly it is true I have a problem. I felt that's too much. They have even reached to a certain stage that I thought if I don't do this, people will start saying I'm a cunning politician. So I said, okay, fine, let me talk the truth. my view on the party, my view on 2027. And today I've decided to set the record straight and to express myself that I've done my best. I've given my ideas, strategies, which the party thought otherwise. And I have to say the truth. Thank you.
That is Irungu Kang'ata. That was Gachagua then, and this is now Irungu Kang'ata making his final opinion, decision. But let us look at it critically. Number one, I think I'm starting to admit a fact that Mount Kenya is gone for William Ruto. Mount Kenya is seriously gone for William Ruto, because look at even the governors that are supporting William Ruto. These are the governors that are serving their second term. Someone like Kirinyaga governor. This is somebody who is serving his second term. He's not interested in any political seat in Mount Kenya anymore. So these are governors who are serving their second term, and they are not interested in retaining their seats. So the thing is, when you look at it critically, any governor who is want to retain his seat, he's not supporting William Ruto. And that should tell you that the wave, the DCP wave, that Gachagua has managed to convince the people of Mount Kenya to listen to him and to follow him. And I can tell you for a fact that Mount Kenya, especially the Kikuyu Mount Kenya, the Kikuyus of Mount Kenya are completely gone. And I'm very sure if by election were held in Mount Kenya, the Kikuyu Mount Kenya, I'm very sure that Gachagua DCP party will win. I'm really looking at the Onkalau. I see how things will turn out in that by-election. But I'm starting to have a feeling that William Ruto is going, and UDA is going to lose that Onkalau seat. Because if you talk to the people of the mountain, and if you have interacted with them, it is very clear that they have decided they are not going to support William Ruto. And it doesn't matter how many trips William Ruto makes to Mount Kenya, how many convincing he tries, how many developments he brings to Mount Kenya. The people of Mount Kenya, especially the Kikuyus, have decided we are not going to support William Ruto. And that is why people like Irungu Kang'ata are making these tough choices. Not because they love Gachagua. Not because Gachagua is good. People like Kang'ata knows that Gachagua is not good. But Gachagua is the one controlling the ground. Gachagua is the one that people are listening to. So if you want to retain your seat, no matter how good you are, you know some politicians have learned things the hard way. They have realized that you can be a good performer. People can love you. You can be doing good things. But when it comes to politics, Kenyans vote based on emotions. Kenyans vote based on party affiliations. So for them, it doesn't matter how good you are, how good of a performer you are. As long as you don't align with a particular party in a particular region, then they will vote you out. That's the same way. You remember what happened to Tuju. Tuju was one of the best performing MP in Rarieda ever since but the fact that he never aligned with Raila Odinga and ODM, he was voted out. Those are some of the things that you need to look at. And Irungu Kang'ata has learned that and has seen that in other areas, even in Mount Kenya alone. So he doesn't want to lose his seat simply because he wants to be seen to stick with William Ruto. All these governors that are supporting William Ruto, that are currently serving their second term, they are doing that at their own interest, because they are looking at where do I go next after this seat? Where do I go next? Sometimes I would like the president to give me an appointment as a CS, or as an ambassador, or as Nini somewhere. So they are looking at their political survival past. It's just the same way something that happens to Joho and happened to Oparanya. You remember, because they had served their second term as governors. Now they were looking at where do I go next, and that is how they ended up as the CSS. So that is what is happening here. But someone like Irungu Kang'ata knows that he needs to go for a second term, so he needs to align with the ground. So let us all agree that Gachagua has managed to convince the people of the mountain to rally behind him. And I think that situation is not going to change. It's going to remain like that for a very long time. Because the people of the mountain are people who are mostly driven with emotions. So for them, Gachagua ashawambia that this is the way to go. And no matter what William Ruto does, I don't think William Ruto is going to win the mountain back. William Ruto should find a way of re-strategizing and looking for support in other regions. And if he really wants to get that support and win this election come 2027, he really needs to look outside Mount Kenya, trying to please the people of the mountain, hoping that they will come back. They will not. Development watapokea. Everything they will watapokea. And if I was William Ruto at this time, what I could have done with the people of the mountain is very simple. I could have continued giving them development. But in terms of visiting, in terms of doing my strategy, in terms of planning my political strategy, I could have focused in the people of Tharaka Nithi, the people of Meru. That is where I could have really invested in terms of getting their support. Because the people of Meru, if you know Meru people very well, these are people who have, even Raila used to have support from Meru. A very big chunk of people used to support Raila from Meru. So these are the people that William Ruto should go for. So that he gets those support, and with the support of Kidiki, he can get the Tharaka Nithi people and all that. And then he focus on consolidating other regions. So that is what that is what I think William Ruto should do. But in terms of trying to please the people of the mountain so that they'll vote for him 2027, that will be a very, very big disappointment for him. A very big disappointment for him, because they will not. They will not turn up in large numbers to vote for him, and they will clearly not support him. They will lie to him, but when it comes to the ballot, they have already decided. So that is the thing that is happening. So Irungu Kang'ata, and another thing, Irungu Kang'ata is also looking at one of his biggest opponent, and that is this Ndindi Nyoro. Ndindi Nyoro is one of his biggest opponent in Murang'a County, because Ndindi Nyoro is also a performer. So Ndindi Nyoro there is some rumors that he wants to run for the governorship of Murang'a, and you see, all of them are listening to the ground. Ndindi Nyoro has not fully said where he wants to go, and Gachagua also gave him the need to make his decisions very fast. So if Ndindi Nyoro wakes up now and says that he's also going to run for the governorship, and he's going to run on DCP, then he's going to bring a lot of for Kang'ata. He's going to bring a lot of competition for Kang'ata, and Kang'ata doesn't want that. So Kang'ata wants to be the first one to rush to DCP, to be endorsed, so that Ndindi Nyoro doesn't have that chance to go to DCP. You get? So there's also a political calculation going there, because since Ndindi Nyoro has not announced, he's trying to rush so that he can be able to go ahead of Nyoro, because Nyoro, from all indications, if he ever wants to run for the governorship of Nairobi, of Murang'a, he has no choice but to support Gachagua on Gachagua's party. So there is a lot of things that is going there, but that is the politics. So tell me what you think in the comment section, but above it all, remain respectful. See you next time.